Welcome to today's coaching, which is going to be on eradicating overwhelm part 2. Okay, so as I was discussing previously, just there, go back on Facebook if you're not watching on Facebook or you're watching the recording or the replay. The things that Laura and I are doing, the things that Nat and I are doing, and the things that are happening in other areas. Okay, so again, Laura can't do all of the things at once, okay? So she can't do the website, the emails, the text message service. She's got a full another career, okay? She's helping me with the track. She's got all the charity stuff that she's doing for Ross. She's got brothers, sisters, mums, nieces, nephews, you know. And what I will come on to here is like Laura and I have to have conversations every day, and she's very good at kind of helping me control my completely screwed mind. And that's what my mind is, and I'm fully acceptance of that. And this is why I'm delivering these on Overwhelmed, because I am the most overwhelmed person in the world, and that's why I know so much about it, and that's why I know it's kind of a myth, if that makes sense, even though that sounds hypocritical. Okay, so obviously, I've got a personality disorder. I struggle to cope with my emotions. I can be angry and sad within the space of 20 minutes. Okay, it's not easy for Nat. I can be motivated or hit rock bottom in a matter of minutes. But again, probably my biggest thing is that I want to do all of the things. I want to do them all at once, and I want to do them all now. Okay. Laura and I, business-wise, have a brutally honest relationship. Okay, she's quite happy just to tell me to shut up, and I can't do that, and that's wrong, and don't do it. And that's kind of what I need. Okay. Likewise, the other way, if I wasn't happy with something, I could just literally say, I'm not happy with that, I want to change it. And I think why I'm bringing this up and us as a real world example in terms of me and Nat, in terms of me and Nora. Oh yeah, Nora. I should start calling her Nora. Is you kind of have to be that way. Okay, so it's not easy to work with me in business. Okay, and I'm very respectful of that because of the reasons I just mentioned. It's not easy to be with me in life. Okay, it's not easy to be my fiance. Okay, some of you guys might say it's not even easy to be my client. I don't know, but mostly I would say it's because that exact reason. I want all of the things doing. I want them all done at once. Prior to Laura and Nat, I thought that I had to do them all myself. And that's why many of my businesses in the past failed. But we need to do the epic question, which I'm going to come on to in today's trainings. Okay, we need to learn to delegate, and we're going to discuss false deadlines. Okay, and we need to learn to prioritize. And I'm going to teach you right now exactly how to do it. And the real world example is, I haven't read Laura's last message yet, but she simply will come back to me. Okay, you sent me 8,643,255 fucking jobs to do that you want doing. And she'll prioritize them, and she'll say, right, Lee, you douchebag. There's only so many hours today. Let's get it into order. You do these things. You've asked me to do all these things. Realistically, I can only do 3 of them. Which ones do you want doing first? That one, and that one. Okay. Problem solved. Overwhelm eradicated. Okay. But you have to realize, guys, and again, go back to the list. My list, yours is obviously slightly different. I actually think for what I do, mine's better than Paul's. It's different. Paul's is very business related. It's much more emotional related. Mine obviously includes all the stuff about alcohol and steps and the extra journaling sectors. Okay, so but they're not dissimilar in terms of what they do. I can't live without it. Okay, and the main thing that comes down to is the prioritizing the 3 main tasks. What's today's most important job? What are the next 3 most important jobs? And then I've got a new box on mine now, which I created myself. What jobs can I delegate? Okay. But we have to be mindful of what many of you are doing and why you're finding stuff so hard and why you're always in the boxes that we discussed yesterday. Burned out box, okay? Depressed, bored, lost, drama, exhaustion, hopeless, sad, stuck in a rut. Or you are angry, stressed, anxious, worried, frustrated, low self-worth, everyone's a dickhead kind of mentality, okay? Overwhelmed and burned out. Simply because you're trying to do too much. So either high energy and negative, top ones, angry, okay, is high energy and negative, okay? Oh, fucking hell. Everything always fucking goes wrong. Setback after setback, obstacles. Why me? Always happens to me, doesn't it? I just feel lost. All I do is wander around from drama to drama, okay? My life's so shit. Low energy, negative, okay? Why we end up in those two areas is very often simply because we take too much on, okay? So how do we change it? That's what you all want to know, okay? You all know what it is. We all experience it. I experience it every day. You know, fear, not good enough, not strong enough. Everything's not being done quick enough, okay? And when I get back to my notes, the epic question that we're going to ask is, and that you need to know is what I ended yesterday's on, okay? How can we make things smaller? Okay? How can we fit less into each day? How can we feel less overwhelmed, less stressed? How can we feel like we've got less to do? Okay. How can I do everything I need to do and make sure I'm relaxed at 7 o'clock and switched off? I won't be because I'm doing another live. But how can I have a relaxing, stress-free weekend when I've still got so much that I want to do? Okay. Now, the first question that we need to get really, really clear on now, and you need to understand is, and I want you to know in the comments, write in the comments, okay? All that stuff that I just described, all the stuff that we want and that we want to eradicate, do you think that you can do all of that in your head? That's the question that I want to ask you, okay? Just make sure Bluetooth off so Nat doesn't attach to the phone when she's off to CrossFit. Yeah, it's off, okay? Do you think you can prevent overwhelm in your head? Do you think you can deal with stress in your head? Do you think you can create strategies in your head? Goals, delegation, priorities, values, lists, orderly fashion, okay? Do you think that Laura can organize everything for me, the website, the marketing, the copy, everything with Nat in her head? Do you think all your nutrition plans are in my head? Do you think I can deal with my personality disorder in my head? Okay, absolutely. It's a bit of a delay, isn't here? But no, Melissa's absolutely right. You cannot, okay? Do you want to know why? And this is the reason why some of you are going to go, oh my God, epiphany moment. That's what you should be having on these videos if I'm doing a good enough job, okay? Your head is where you created it in the first place. You can't solve the thing you need to solve in the same place you created it, okay? And the sooner we can get to grips with the fact that we created stress, we created anxiety, we created worry, we created frustration, overwhelm, depressed thoughts, suicidal thoughts, bored thoughts, lost thoughts, dramatic thoughts, sad thoughts, angry thoughts, okay? We created all of them in our head, okay? Thoughts become things. Now, we cannot sort the answers in our head. I don't know anyone that can do that. And Melissa's absolutely right. Okay? Melissa's absolutely right. Because you cannot deal with the problem and find the solution in the same place it's created. But we also need to understand that we can create the other thoughts, don't we? Okay, so we can create the purpose, we can create optimism, we can create inspiration, motivation, engagement, challenge, purposefulness, drive, discipline, willpower, all created via action. All these things are created, okay? Planning is not just key for him, Melissa, okay? Planning is key for him. It's key for everyone. It will be more key for him that he can't cope with changes, okay, due to his autism. Absolutely. Why do you think Popeye's result so good? Okay, here's how you flip a perception. Popeye's result is so amazing because he has autism. Okay, he cannot cope with changes, exactly like Melissa has just said with her son. So as long as I provide him with the exact strategy for success every day, he succeeds. If I tell him to eat 200 grams of tuna, he eats 200 grams of tuna, not 201. 201 would freak him out. 199 would freak him out. Okay. If I tell him to train at 7 a.m. and do a push-pull legs session, all over body, all in one, and provide him with the exact reps, weights, and plan that he needs to do, he will do it. And it's the same for all of us, okay? But the mind will often take you the other way, okay? It will stop you getting started, okay? So other people, the same thing has happened with autism. They've become that afraid of failing or letting themselves down, or honestly becoming so overwhelmed that they don't do anything, okay, apart from stay overwhelmed. And it simply comes down to, and having a son who's autistic, I bet Melissa's going to 100% back me up on this, it just comes down to the plan being good enough. It's not the overwhelm's fault, okay? It's not the autism's fault. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. And never, ever, ever have any feelings of guilt or beat yourself up about it, because we're not trained on these things, guys. Who goes to how to not be overwhelmed school? Who goes you know, I might even, do you know what? I'm fucking writing this down. Schools. I might even go on a mission to be able to go into schools and coach some of this. This live's just inspired me. See, that's what my head does. That's what Laura has to cope with. Now I'll be sending her a message afterwards saying, oh, we need to go and coach this stuff in schools because it's going to change lives. Okay. But we don't get training on any of this at school. So if you're struggling with planning, strategy, overwhelmed, feeling lost, no focus, no drama, don't attach any guilt to it because it's not your fault. Up until this point, all you've been doing is the very best with what you've had available to you. Exactly like me, okay? I've now had a metric F-ton more training than you have, which is why I've got such a better handle on it. But you can get exactly the same handle on it, okay? So don't beat yourself up. It all comes down to training. But imagine if you were taught all this in school. Imagine if we'd all been taught all this when we were like 12 years old, okay? you know, when Laura was just lit laughing, thinking about when I'm getting the text saying we need to go to some schools. Okay. Yeah. And then I'll be like, so now I'm going to run 7 marathons in 7 days, and we're going to do them all to a different school in the South Yorkshire area. And then when I arrive, we're going to make sure the press are there. And then we're going to deliver a personal development to kids session in the school on that day. And can we get it all done in June? That's what my head goes like, okay? And that's what I have to control. And, you know, this is a typical example of what you control, okay? But don't beat yourself up, whatever you do. And now we're going to come on how to do it, okay? But you only know, write this down as well, okay? I only know what I know now, pure and simple. But every day I'm going to learn more. Every day I'm going to try and be better. Every day I'm going to turn up for my trainings with Paul. Okay. Just like you're turning up for this training with me. When I start missing them, everything goes to rat shit. Okay. When I prioritize pissing around on my phone rather than doing the training, which he charges £2,500, I'm not even joking, per hour for, and you guys are getting a lot of it back here. Things go to rat shit. When I stop completing my planner, things go to rat shit. When I stop planning my day, things go to rat shit. When I stop being grateful, things go to rat shit. When I stop thinking about who needs me to turn up for them today, things go to rat shit. When I stop doing each and every single thing that's on your planner, which I've spent 10 years creating and given to you as part of this plan, which you should be completing every day, things go to rat shit. Okay. I think that's enough rat shit. But we're not giving training on this, okay? And this is the very first thing that people do, okay? Let's use that as a real world example, what I said about teaching in schools, okay? So, right, I'm going to go on a mission now, and I actually truly am. Just decided. Text you in a bit, Laura. I've just decided I'm going to go on a mission to create a 1 to 2 hour training that encompasses as much of this as I physically can. And I'm going to go and request to deliver it in schools for kids probably aged 12 or above. I've just decided that and added it to my list over there. Okay. How will my head feel if I try to contact 7 schools at once? I try to plan the webinar now. I go on PowerPoint and get my slides out afterwards. I get straight on the phone with Laura and start discussing it with her. I start emailing press to see what coverage we can get. I go and ask Paul whether he thinks it's a good idea. I wait for Nat to come home and then I have a conversation about her. I reach out to you guys in the group and ask you what you think about it and do you have any contacts in schools and where do your kids go and how might I possibly be able to help them? Wow, fuck, I'm not doing that. Too much work. But it's still a plan, isn't it? Okay. And that's what we do. We go, right, I'm going to do this. Right, I'm going to get fit. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to improve my mental place. I'm going to change my career. I'm going to get better at everything in life. Okay. I need a plan. You don't. Okay. You need what is called a very small LNS. Okay. Anyone who knows what LNS stands for, L for Lima, N for November, S for September. Post it in the group, post it in the thread now while I have a bit of my cup of tea. This is all you need for success. Okay? Don't be cheating. Don't be cheating and Googling it. If you worked in sales, you probably should know. If you worked in sales and you don't know, you've had some absolutely stinking sales training. Because I've always got one of these. I've got one right this second. Okay, I think the delay is too big on this. I want to learn how to make it faster, but I'm going to crack on or there'll be a gap. Okay, an LNS is a logical next step. That's all you need. Okay. It's the first recipe. It's contacting the first school to see if they're interested. Okay. What's the point in doing the seminar and writing the slides if none of the schools are interested? Okay. What's the point in contacting 25 schools if the first 7 are all going to say yes? Okay. What's the point in getting the press involved if we don't know it's even going to happen? Okay. All we need is a logical next step. I've got one for this seminar. I know what I'm going to say next. If I start thinking about everything that I'm going to say for the full hour, my head's going to go to batshit. Okay. That's why I've got a list. That's why I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. That's why I've got a logical next step. It's how I do my recipe books. Okay. One recipe at a time. One recipe, one piece of artwork, one day. 30 days, recipe book completed. No overwhelm, no stress, no pressure, no anxiety. Push that all onto Laura. But, you know, that's what you need, okay? But action trumps everything. Write that down as well. Action. Can you imagine me actually doing high-level personal development? Okay, we've not heard this one before. Action trumps everything. Okay. At least they would know my coaching style is individual. Okay. So it's very often, this is Callie Hare. I know I can call you out again without offense. Okay. Because we've already discussed it before. This is the same with loads of you. Okay. What's the best way to do it? What's the best way I can contact the schools? What's the quickest way I'll be able to get this plan done? Okay, who else do I need to involve? Right, I need to set some strategies. I need to think about how many schools, when I'm going to contact them. See how hours of your life are wasted, okay? You just end up getting in your own way. Okay? Again, you're getting in your own way, and all you need to understand is write this the F down. Done is better than perfect. Every time, okay? In your life, okay? In business, always remember this. Pick one thing at a time and then just do it, brother. Exactly what he's just said, okay? If you're thinking about launching your own business, you're thinking about advertising something, big up Sophia as well for her new business. Melissa Fliss is doing some amazing stuff in her new business. Laura with her Healthy by Hallam. Okay, there's so many of you. Sarah Hardy, career changes, new qualifications. It's people that I can't mention everyone, but there's so many of you that are being more, doing more, and taking action. Okay, speed to market beats perfection. Okay, can you imagine if, and it is going to be pretty awesome because she doesn't do anything less than awesome. And I've pretty much given her free reign. But can you imagine the new website, okay? And delivering these live videos and this Zoom and, you know, think about what I could have done. I could have waited for the laptop stand to arrive. Could have waited for the light to arrive so the sun's not in my face. I could have waited until we've actually got the unit to start doing the podcasts properly. I could have made a million reasons not to be talking to you right now, okay? But done is better than perfect. It's not the perfect way yet. I've 7 devices here is simply not necessary. I need to find a better way to deliver it more professionally in a room that's got Freeman Fitness, not my record label, and my decks in my background. But speed to market beats perfection, and done is better than perfect, okay? So just go for it. Callie is on a sales call. Cal, make sure that you've always got a logical next step. Every conversation, sales, logical next step. Bit of free sales training for you all there as well, okay? Ask powerful questions. Yeah, but if you buy my project and sign up, what impact's that going to have on your life? What a question. What impact's it going to have if you make the changes? Are you going to feel better? Amazing. Who else in your life might that impact? Well, you know, when are we going to work together? If not now, then when? Go for it. But the reason is, guys, the reason why we don't, deeper rooted psychologically down, okay, is because we're addicted to guarantees and certainty. Okay. Stephen Regan, I think that's your name. I only met you last night, joined last night at 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. He's just come to us from an horrifically shite PT that sounds like an absolute bell end. Okay. Who doesn't give two shits about his clients. As you know, not like me to say it as it is. But that's where he was at the start of the conversation, okay? He's petrified that he's going to give me his money and I'm going to be as crap as that guy. Little does he know, hey? Apparently this guy doesn't even contact him. Not Stephen, this is private, by the way, so don't worry. He's PT. Put a little bit of what you said, Stephen. His PT's not had a text out of him for 4 weeks. It's giving him a plan that he doesn't understand. Hasn't even told him what fucking foods to eat, okay? Absolute shark. This is what I have to deal with and try and overcome. But Stephen, when we were chatting last night, Cal, go nail that sales call and message me when you've smashed it. Stephen, what you were looking for last night, when I called you out and said, was it your PT's fault that you ate all the fucking takeaways? Is you were looking for, you even said it, okay? You were looking for a guarantee or a certainty that when you gave me your money, that you were going to succeed, okay? I can't give you that. But what I can tell you is that I'm a world-class coach and I will not stop until you get results. And I will provide you with everything that I've promised that I will. And if you take the action and you don't get the results, you can have your £99 back without any questions asked whatsoever. Okay. But I'd sack your PT ASAP because he sounds like a bell end. But very often, and again, this is what you will have experienced. So you were looking for change. You weren't looking for change. You were looking for certainty. You were looking for a guarantee that if I give you money, am I going to get results? Absolutely not. I can give you the knowledge, the accountability, the support. You'll find out that I'm here every day for you, not just for the hour when you're paying for me. And not on Facebook anymore because you're a client, but when we create your account on the app over this weekend, and in this group every single day on a Q&A, I am here for you, every guys, okay? But you also need to let go of any blame for him, okay? If I want advice off him, it would cost him an extra £35 an hour, okay? That's because he's a douchebag busy PT on a gym floor. It's not his responsibility, okay? So you need to let go of any blame. You're in the right place now and move forward, okay? He generally sounds like he really doesn't give a shit about you, to be quite honestly. Very short-term approach, but hey, no negativity. We're all on our own mission, aren't we? Yeah, guys, get Stephen inspired. Everyone drop a few results in what you've achieved. Stephen, you're not going to fail, okay? But this is the place so many of you end up in, okay? Hands up, drop me a comment if you've been here. Stephen, this may have been how you felt last night. That change and fear is actually, or change, or the fear of change, okay? Change is actually scarier than putting up with the pain that you're in. And listen to this, change is scarier than putting up with the pain that you're in and that you are certain you know you're going to have to deal with. Does that make sense? Does that make any sense? Okay, you know, as long as you like, you know, if you stayed with him, you're certain of what's going to happen. Okay, and you're already pissed off about it and you're already upset about it and you've already been done over by a douchebag. Okay, but you still kind of know what you're going to get with him. Okay, guys, those of you that are stuck in jobs that you hate, okay, you still know that you're going to certainly get that wage every week, that you're not going to lose your job. Those of you that have stuck in dead end relationships, you've fucking not had sex for 3 years and you're not talking about it or have been in them. Okay. The change is scarier than putting up with the pain that you are certain that you will have to deal with. Okay. I would rather stay in this unhappy relationship, having no sex, no communication, no love, no cuddles, than do something about it. Because at least this pain that I'm going through every day, it's certain, it's safe. I know what it is. The change is scarier. Okay. So that's big. That's a big one to come over. I've gone off. This is absolutely nothing. This is, again, going back to what Laura has to deal with now. Absolutely nothing to do with this training. Okay. I've not even moved the iPad for 2 minutes, but I hope you found that helpful. So what's the number one reason why we create overwhelm? Back to the freaking point, Lee, and why we need to change it. Okay. Needless deadlines. Okay. Stephen, you set a needless deadline last night of your holiday in July. Okay. I'll tell you why it's needless, because I want you to get in the best shape of your life and have smaller tits than your wife, as I think you put it, forever, not for that holiday in July. Screw your holiday in July. We want to get you fit, healthy, mentally, physically, body confidence, spiritually, drive, looking the best you have. And this is the same for every single one of you, not for a holiday, not for a wedding, not for a future date, but for, I know, God, Tracy, can you imagine that? For you, okay? For you, forever. This isn't a quick fix, Stephen, to get you in shape for July. This is the tools and the knowledge to be happy with your body and have body confidence forever, okay? But this is where I go wrong, guys. This is why I screw my own life up every week. And this is why I then create stress for Laura. And this is why I create stress for Nat. And this is why I create stress for everyone in my life who has to deal with me, okay? Because I create needless deadlines, and because I take too much on all the time. That's why I need a Nat. That's why I need a Laura. Laura can be better at it than Nat because there's no kind of emotional attachment. Whereas when you're with your partner, you can then, it's very easy to get drawn into conflict. Okay. I think that's just the same for everyone. You know, if I tell you, you need to drink less alcohol and eat less, you'll listen. If your partner says that's the reason and you're taking on too much, you'll probably tell them to F off and get into an argument about it. Okay. Or get your back up if it's true. Conflict management. Okay. Nat says to me, taking too much on. No, I'm not. Okay. Laura says to me, taking too much on. It's like, yes, boss. Sorry. Apologies. Okay. It'd be the same with you guys, with your partners and your wives and your fiancés. Okay. But most things that we think need doing actually don't. And most deadlines that we actually create aren't deadlines. Okay. Who knows what they are? Post it in the box. What are deadlines, really? Don't get me wrong, there are some deadlines, but trust me, Stephen, your holiday in July is not a deadline. Me selling all of the records all today isn't a deadline, but I would like to do it. There actually isn't a deadline when we need to get the website finished. There isn't a deadline when I need to have the unit by. There isn't a deadline when I need to get into the schools. The only real deadlines I've got today are that my phone's off by 7, that I do the sales call, phone's off for notifications at 7, that I do the sales call at 7:30, I've got a meeting with my accountant at 12:30. And I need to do one of Paul's trainings. That's it. Those are the realistic deadlines today. Okay. Everything else, write this down. Most deadlines, okay, again, works a little bit different, Melissa. There are real deadlines. Of course there are. Okay. But what I'm saying is, most deadlines that we create that aren't real, if we actually look at them, classic one would be how many pounds you need to lose in what amount of time, or what you're actually going to do today, or how much money you need to earn, what you need to invest, okay, where your time's going. It's a preference or a priority. Write that down right now. Most deadlines aren't deadlines. They are preferences or they are priorities. And that's what it comes down to, okay? Again, I told you the funny story yesterday, didn't I, about Siri types it out. I don't know why I didn't, because it was so funny and Laura would have pissed herself as well. When my head goes scatty, okay, I started shouting in the office and Siri had picked up on it on WhatsApp chat. And I shouted at myself, why the F are you messing around doing all these bleep, 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 low value tasks when you really need to send that email to Cal, who's potentially going to be my agent. Okay, let's go back to yesterday. Okay. Key priority, Cal email. Little bit of an insight to my day there as well. Okay. And yet I was pissing around doing loads of stuff, even though I'd not sent the email to Cal. Why? Preference. Wasn't a deadline. It's a preference or priority. I was doing low value tasks first. Okay. Because I'd lost the list, lost my way. Okay. But again, I'm going to flip it on its head. It was the email to Cal that was stressing me out. I probably could have done it up until Sunday, but he asked me to do it yesterday. Email me whenever you get time, just drop me an email with all your upcoming tracks. That's all he said. He didn't say, drop me an email with all your upcoming tracks and I need it by 10 o'clock on Thursday morning. I created that. I created the pressure, created the stress, I created the overwhelm, ended up having a meltdown. Okay. So next time, ask yourself this question. Does it really have to be done right now? That's your number one question. Okay. Number two question. Is this really a deadline or is it a preference? And get clear on that. Okay. Number three is, can I challenge it? Number four is, can I delegate it? Okay. But we need to get really clear on, is this a real deadline or is it just a preference? And that is going to help you beyond belief. Okay. Right. I was going to do this in 3 trainings, but I'm going to finish it today. So strap in. Okay. We create it very often. Okay. Now, you guys remember the famous post. I'm not going to talk about it because it offended so many people. But overwhelm is simply a lack of strategy. Okay. And we're going to come on to exactly what strategy means. Okay. No hoping, no wishing, no dreaming, or no fitting things in is ever going to work or achieve results. Okay. Oh, I hope this might help me. Maybe one day. Okay. It's no strategy. Okay. And what Paul went through with me, and this is amazing, is sometimes you can find true meaning in things just by looking at the dictionary definition for a word. Okay. So what is the real meaning of strategy? Okay. Listen to this, and I'm going to say the words in a certain way to help. Okay. Strategy is a plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall aim. Okay. Many of you, what you have is you have a plan designed to achieve a long-term or overall aim. A plan, a hope, a wish, a dream, a business plan. Okay. It's not a strategy, it's a plan of action. Okay. And it's the action that's the important part, not a plan of thinking about. Okay. You can't think your way out of depression. You can't think your way out of overwhelm. You can't think your way out of being a fatty. You can't think your way out of drinking every weekend. You can't think your way out of a toxic relationship. Okay. It has to come down to action. You literally can't think yourself out of anything. You've got to get it out and you've got to get it on paper. Okay. Because if you're overwhelmed, hand on heart, it's because you're not clear on your priorities, you don't have a strategy, and you don't have a timeline. Okay. But overall, it's because once we have all those things, we are not then focusing on the LNS until it's done. Okay. One recipe, one picture until it's done, then finish, then move on to the next job. Okay. Facebook off, label works off, music off, everything effing off. Focus on emailing Cal until it's done. Okay. Downstairs in the morning, phone in the kitchen, coffee in the kitchen, TV off. Focus on my stretches until they are done. And then I will do the next job. And then I will do the LNS. Okay. But, you know, if you don't, what you will do is rather than starting to implement these changes, and this is the danger, guys. Okay. You'll rely on overwhelm. You'll start to rely on it. As your get out of jail free card. Okay. It's your reason for not planning better. Okay. It's your reason for not taking action. Okay. And you will use it as your excuse for not doing things. Why aren't you filling in your day planner? Because I'm already too overwhelmed. I've literally had someone say that to me. Okay. Why aren't you taking action on your health and fitness and trying to lose some weight and do some exercise? Oh, because I'm already overwhelmed. Okay. All right. Okay. Tell me how eating shit and not doing any exercise is helping with that. Okay. Who said this? This is we get, okay, now, Laura, how many of these do we get per week? Okay. People that inquire about signing up, obviously when they're in a tiny little bit of a better headspace, and then they ghost us and then they go away, probably get fucked at the weekend, then feel like shit on Monday. Then they come back to us, or I might follow them up, because anyone who's got a business, guys, if you're not following up leads, those people aren't ghosting you. You're just not following them up. Okay. Remember that. Okay. If someone was going to come and buy something from you and then you sent them 2 emails and they've still not bought from you, send them another one until they tell you to F off. Okay. Or until they unsubscribe, because very often some people have to hear from you 12 times until they buy from you. Okay. But we will use it as a get out of jail card. And then the person might then come back and say, this is a classic. Who said this? Drop me a yes in the comments if you've said this. Yeah, Lee, you know what? It looks really good. It looks really great. Definitely need to change. I need to lose weight. I need to get fitter. Just everything's fucked. Thing is, I've just not got the headspace for it right now. I'm already too overwhelmed. What the hell? What are you overwhelmed with? Overwhelmed with ordering Domino's? Overwhelmed with Netflix? Overwhelmed with telling the world how it's different for you? Overwhelmed with telling the world what a bad hand you've had in life? Overwhelmed with telling all your mates down the pub how much you hate your wife and how crap your relationship is? Okay, it's all the time. Okay, people say this to me all the time. I haven't got the headspace. I'll go, what have you got the headspace for? You seem to have the headspace for Domino's last night. You seem to have the headspace for it's been on your Facebook actually, looking for your next box set on Netflix. Got headspace for that. Seeing you at the football again on Saturday, you've got headspace for that. So get where I'm going. It becomes our get out of jail card for not planning better, for not having any strategy, for not tracking food, okay? For not being accountable, for not checking in, okay? I'm not going to call anyone out, okay? But I could call a lot of you out here. Who's not put their photos in the accountability group over the weekend because they were too busy? Too busy doing what? What were you doing that was more high value than being accountable to the plan that you've signed up to? What were you doing that you had the headspace for, but you couldn't jump on a set of scales and take a photo that takes 30 seconds out of your life? Okay. What did you have the headspace for? What were you too busy doing? What were you already overwhelmed with? Okay. It's a simple thing. You guys get where I'm coming from. I do it. Okay. So again, I always never feel like I'm digging anyone out here. I'm not. I want it to be, oh God, it's right. You know, that's what I understand. And the reason why I understand is because I get it, because I did it for 20 years of my life. Sorry to my coaches. Sorry, Charlie, I've not had time to do my check-in this week. Really? Or is that the biggest lie you've ever just told, Lee? The truth would have been, Charlie, sorry, I've not done my check-in pictures this week. I prioritized loads of other stuff. I got shit-faced on Saturday night. I'm not really feeling too good about myself. I didn't want to do it. And the deep down matter is it's not that important to me. It wasn't a preference or a priority, and I can't be asked. I'm already too busy with work. Sorry. Okay, that would have been my personal honest response. Okay, but we have to be careful because, as I said, it becomes the get out of jail for not planning better. Okay, and you guys have to understand. Okay, I'm going to repost the day schedule that will change your life and save your life. The Unbreakable Daily Planner schedule and checklist. If you're not filling it in every day, okay, you're just a complete amateur and you're just treating this like a waste of time. Okay, if you're not doing it in business, it's not a fucking business. Okay, it's just a hobby. Okay, and loads of things, it's not your fault as well. Loads of things aren't helping. Distraction, social media, all day, every day. Okay, but what we need to focus on is doing less, but doing better. As I said yesterday, less sets, more intensity. Okay, fill your day. Grab a pen and write this down. Okay, if you do not fill your day with high value, prioritized tasks, you will do nothing but be distracted by other people's shit. Okay, you will just be a spectator looking at how good she looks with her back fanny out on Instagram. Look at how good he looks in his yacht in Marbella. Look at how many more records he's sold than I have. Okay, look at how much better the body coach is doing than I am. Look at how much James Smith is killing it compared to me. Again, talking about myself for years. Okay. But that's the truth. Okay. If we don't fill ourselves and our days with high value tasks that are then prioritized and we go about them one at a time, that will happen. So, in summary, make everything smaller. Logical next step, one thing at a time that's the highest priority, and do it until it's completed. Okay. Fill your day with high value activities that are the most important to you and go about each and every one at a time until they are complete. Don't create false deadlines. Okay. And don't allow overwhelm to become your get out of jail card. Okay. That's what I'm going to end on. Reverberate that around your head. If I do not plan, and most of us don't need to think further than one day. If I do not get up, or either do it first thing when I get up or do it before I go to bed, and strategize and plan my day with high value activities, I guarantee you I will spend the entire day being distracted by other people and being a spectator. Okay. I don't want to be a spectator on anyone else's movie. I don't want to watch your movie. I want to be a star of my own movie. Okay. And you guys should be the same. And that's another thing to finish on, why you should never be worried about anybody else's opinion of you, what you're doing, or what mission you're on, because it's none of your business. Okay. They are not the star of your movie, and you are not the star of their movie. Okay. So focus on high value, own tasks, priorities in order. Don't create deadlines, and let's all go out today and be the star of our own movies. Guys, over and out. I love you all. Have an absolutely epic day. And I will see you. Feel free to jump on the live tonight on the group at 7:30. I would love some support. And if anyone even wants to come on camera and talk, I can sort that. That would be amazing. Let me know in the chat on here. If not, have the best weekend, guys. But this weekend, make sure you're the star of your own movie. And I will see you bright and early for the Wham Monday morning. If you don't know what the Wham is, I'll do a post in the group today for the newbies. Newbies, you should just have your start photo in an Instagram splitter and an empty box. And then each week you update the picture. If you know exactly what the Wham is, but you're not doing it, might want to be asking yourself why this weekend. Okay, guys, I love you all. Have an absolutely phenomenal Friday and an even better weekend. Take care. Bye.